Previously on the What the Hell Is Next podcast.
If I do anything you want me to do, maybe another time, maybe another life, you will be my wife and we'll get it right.
What the hell is next? Where you get that from? Life. That's where I got it from. I got it from my life. We just have to surrender and submit. I know that's like taboo words for some of us. Submit, that's like the Lion King, Mufasa. Ooh, like what are we doing? There was no pain. The mending had started happening, but the scars reminded me that I was broken and I was embarrassed by the scars. So I don't know where that came from. I was scrolling and just saw healed and then thought about the scars. Probably have a lot to do with what I'm going through right now that I'm thinking about it. So we're gonna talk through this. We're gonna be each other's therapist today, or maybe you're gonna be mine, and I'm just gonna talk it through, cause I'm a wreck. I'm just all over the place. It's crazy. You're okay. There is nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being careful. There's nothing wrong with being a little fearful. And if you know me, I'm honest. I'm going to tell the truth about mostly everything. Mostly everything is crazy. I'm going to tell the truth. Hear that? Can we still talk to the people? Talk to the people. Let's talk to the people. Still being challenged in my healing. Yeah. What the hell is next, Rush? You walk in your healing. Girl, be healed and be okay. That's what's next. That's what's next. Woman of God. Welcome to What the Hell Is Next, the podcast for those of us who thought adulthood came with a manual. We're going to laugh, learn, cuss a little, pray a lot, and figure this thing out one real conversation at a time. I got no more time. Welcome to another episode of What the Hell Is Next. I hope you all have enjoyed what we have been producing so far, because when I tell you this is so out of my comfort zone. As much as I talk, if anybody know me, I am never at a loss for words, but to be on the spotlight like this is very challenging, but I am going to show up each and every month anyway. So welcome. Thank you to all of you who have supported and watched previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your notifications so that you won't miss an episode of What the Hell Is Next. So today, we're going to talk a little bit about inner inventory before outer expansion. What are you talking about? We're going to talk about auditing. The audit that about like what's actually working in our lives and what's actually working. So I had a conversation. I'm always talking again. About why don't we ever do an audit of our life? Like we have been accustomed and have been tailored and groomed, if you will. Oh, are those trigger words? They might be trigger words. Lord, I done got banned already. We have been accustomed and conditioned is the word. Not groomed. Conditioned is the word. To always focus on what's not working, right? Always focus on the negative or what we can do better, what we didn't do enough of, like all the low level, worst of the worst of our lives. We never focus on what we have accomplished or how we accomplished, what sacrifice we made or had to go through, what we had to give up. So this is the month of auditing for our lives and literally taking a look at the pros versus the cons, because we know the cons, right? We know what we could have done better. We know how we could have done it better. We know, what we didn't do. We're very good at that, but we never look at our accomplishments and say, you know what, I accomplished that. It's either I accomplished that, but I could have done it better. Why couldn't it just be, I accomplished that, period. It's accomplished. I did that. I made it. I got the degree, or started the business, or wrote the book. We think about, how long it took to get the degree and how long it took, but not the fact that we actually did it. So I'm going to challenge people to literally take an audit and really think about all the accomplishments that you've made, and be proud of those things. And be proud. No, I didn't lose the 50 pounds, but I don't eat as many cookies, right? Think of something positive for yourself. We're so hard on ourselves. We hear that all the time. We're so hard on ourselves. We really don't think about the fact that you're okay. We're okay. So, short story, I started my locks 6 years ago. 6 years ago this year, when I turned 50. The goal is to have them for 10 years, to be consistent at having them at 10 years, right? So I started them, and when I first got my locks, they were, budding and maturing, and then I was trying to fix them, right? I wanted to smooth them out. I didn't want to, this is frizzy. And then I have gray hair, so if you have gray hair, gray hair is unruly anyway. So I'm trying to fix the gray hair, or I'm going to get them, retwisted every 2 weeks, not allowing my hair to really grow in and full out and really be what it was created to be. So I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to smooth it. And I'm really thinking about it, and I was like, that is left over from when I had a perm, right? Everything had to be in place. There's a perception of perfection, of a way that it should look. And so in prayer, God challenged me and said, why are you trying to fix something that's natural? Are you saying that your natural state is not good enough? So I had to think about it. My hair is in its natural state, right? It is naturally locking. It is naturally coming together. It is naturally gray, or it's naturally soft, or naturally frizzy. Like, there is nothing in my hair outside of Jamaican castor oil. Like, everything else is all natural. I don't have any chemicals. There's no dye, no nothing. It's all natural. So he challenged me to really embrace the natural state of my hair. And there's nothing wrong with it. The challenge for me was, I've never seen the natural state of myself, because I've always tried to fix it, or try to bend it to be, or reform it to fit in a mold, or to be something or someone. So the fact that I never really accepted the natural state of who I am, I couldn't embrace the natural state of my hair. Was it easy? Absolutely not. Because my hair at its natural state is thin, right? It's kind of fine. It doesn't have a lot of weight to it. It's very soft. When it was natural before I locked, it's very soft. It doesn't get very long. Well, it didn't get very long. It didn't get very long straight, blow drying and all the other things. It didn't do that. But that was my hair has always been that way. If I look at baby pictures, it's always been soft and curly, don't have any weight to it. The wind blow, it's just gone. But when I started locking, the forming together of my locks, and the fact that it was frizzy and it was, budding and all the other things, I was like, I really need to embrace the natural state of my hair. I did a lot of research on locks. The fact that it is a lifestyle, is not just a hairstyle for me. It's literally a lifestyle. My hair reflects what I put in my body, right? So if I don't drink enough water, my hair is going to be dry. If I eat the wrong kind of foods or whatever, my hair is going to reflect it's going to be dull or what it is. So I did a lot of studying during that uncertainty period where I was really learning to embrace the natural state of my hair. I would always do research. I found a couple of locticians and experts on natural hair online and kind of listened to what they said. I found what works for my hair, what does not work for my hair. Like, I don't use a lot of product. I don't oil her all the time. I can only use black Jamaican castor oil. That's the only thing that she likes, or castor oil. All that other stuff does not work. I now wash her with Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. It's the only thing that really cleanses it. And when I learned my hair and stopped trying to fix my hair because there was nothing wrong with it, it just started to grow. It just grew and it keeps growing. I let her do whatever she wants to do. I let her hang the way that she wants to hang. If she don't want to be pinned up, I don't. Whatever happens. But I learned to work with my hair instead of trying to correct my hair based off of what I expected it to be. So I did an audit on the good things about her versus all the negative stuff that I perceived that was negative. Because when I was out in the street, everybody loved my locks. When I stopped dyeing my hair, everybody loved my gray hair. Oh my God, older seasoned women would be like, oh, your gray is coming in so pretty. It's all over. It's not just in one patch or whatever. And I'm like, my hair is turning gray. I'm getting old. My perception. But I am over 40. And that's what happens when you get old. Things change. So I learned to embrace the state of my hair. And that was just the beginning. So I did an audit of internally what was going on before I even accepted the external representation of what was happening. And that challenged me to really do that for me. Even with my weight. If anybody knows, I'm talking to all pre, post, during menopausal people, you are going to gain weight and there is nothing you can do about it. You can go on a diet, you can exercise, you can not eat, you can go on liquid, you can keto and do all of that. Weight gain going through menopause is hormonal. Period. Buy bigger clothes because it's going to happen until your hormones level off. And so I've always been a person that was challenged with her weight. Typical female stuff. An emotional eater. Whenever I'm emotionally unbalanced, food is my addiction. That's my go-to. But when I started menopause, it was different because around that time I pretty much had a handle on my emotions. Certain conversations I just don't have because I know that it triggered me. Certain people I just don't hang around because I know they're going to get on my nerves and they're going to trigger me. So I know what my triggers are, so I avoid my triggers. Period. But when I got a balance on that and I was still gaining weight, especially in the midsection, I was like, now something ain't right. Now I know I'm not doing everything I'm supposed to do, but I know I ain't supposed to be this round in the middle. Round middle. Tiger. Belly. Wasn't supposed to happen. So doing research, because that's what I do, I realized I was going through menopause and it was just hormonal weight that I could not control, which pissed me off even more. Because you know how we feel when we can't control stuff, then we still be fixing it. Then we get more depressed and then we eat more food. And then we be all down to the McDonald's at 2 in the morning getting frappes. Well, I had a flashback. I'm coming back. Okay, I'm back. So what I did, again in prayer, because you all know that that's what I do. In prayer, God was like, so you're trying to fix what's natural. Like, that's a natural thing. And I was like, oh. So what he did was he forced me to stand in the mirror, bucky naked, and literally look at myself without judgment. Without trying to fix myself. Without trying to point out all of my flaws. what could be corrected. I literally had to stand there and brace myself in the natural. Oop. And that's Rudy's cameo. Embrace myself in the natural, right? And stop being so hard on me, because my perception is that's what other people expected. And I bought me some waist beads, and I will put my waist beads on, because my thing was, I'm going to adorn the gift that God gave me. Because the reality is, there are people walking around that wish they could wear a size 20. That have health. I don't have health challenges, knock on wood. Now, am I healthy? I could be a little bit more healthy. This ain't wood, actually. It's my couch, and it's not wood, but it's brown, so it's close to it. So I just knocked on it. Use your imagination. Don't judge me. Judge yourself. Knock on wood. Find some paper or something. Knock on wood. And I really was like, it could be worse, right? I could be unhealthy. I can have detrimental things going on with weight gain, right? Remember, it's hormonal, so it's inevitable, and it's something that is just going to have to work itself out. So I had to pray for patience. I had to pray for grace, and I had to pray that every time I thought about talking about myself in a negative fashion, for things that I can't control, is that I pause and be thankful that it's not as bad as what it could be. So sometimes, most times, and we should stop and take an audit. We should take inventory of everything that's going on, focusing more on the positive versus the negative, because we got the negative down pat. Write it down if you have to. Just really take a moment. Lately I've been given like 72-hour challenges. For 72 hours, just speak positive about yourself. 72 hours, just take an inventory on all the good things that you like about yourself. Like, there are some things that I do like. I love my hair now. I love my hair. I love the shape of my lips. I love my eyes. Love my nails, because I'm always doing those things. Nails. I love the shape of my legs. So there are some things about me that I really love. I love my breasts. They've always been an asset. I love my breasts, even though they hang a little. I'm 50 something. I need a little muscle. I gotta pump them out and put some push-up bras on. But there are a lot of things that I do love about myself. But there are also a lot of things that I don't like about myself. But I really focus on the things that are consistent about me that I really love. So take inventory. Why we skip inventory? Let's talk a little bit about that. We skip inventory because we are afraid of what we may find. I don't want to do an inventory because I just may find something broken. I just may find something that's not perfect. Or I just may find something that's not acceptable, or I don't think it's going to be accepted. So I'm not going to take an inventory, because taking an inventory means I have to go through each and everything and find something, and I may find something that I don't like, right? We think motion equals progress. Let's talk a little bit about that. I am a certified life coach, and I always told my clients, preparation is movement, right? Preparation is movement. When you're preparing and you're getting things, you're still moving. You're not idle. You're collecting. You're doing the things. You're going to the conferences and buying the books and reading the books and doing all the things, being prepared. But the difference between preparation and execution is results. Now, I can prepare and have a whole lot of things in my toolbox for my business, right? I know all the avenues. I have all the connections. But if I don't execute or work on it to get a result, it's just movement. They're both movement. They're both motions. But one brings results and the other one is just busy work. Right? So we skip inventory because we think that because I'm moving, that means progress. Okay, well, take an inventory on your movement. How many checks have you received? How many new contacts have you gotten? How much product have you sold? Or have you created? We ain't even going to talk about selling yet. How much? How much fruit are you bearing? You're moving, and moving is cute. But if I exercise 2 hours a day and then eat unhealthy food, there's no progress in whatever the desired change that I want in my body, right? If I go to school and show up for every class, but I don't do the work, and then I don't get the degree or I don't pass the test, I did movement, but there was no result. There was no positive result. It was just movement. So taking inventory causes us to think about motion and think about the things that we do to see if it's really bringing a result. And then from the result, do inventory to do pro and con of what we have so we can sort it out. Okay? I hope this is making sense because I'm just talking. Another thing in inventory, I also have pillars in my life, right? There are certain categories that I really focus on, and I try to focus on every year. I don't do New Year resolutions because I'm grown, and if I don't feel like doing it, I ain't gonna do it. We just gonna say it. And a lot of people make them and break them by February, March, and then they be mad the rest of the year and then try again next year. But I do set yearly goals. So there are certain areas in my life that I set goals in, right? So that's faith, my spiritual connection to the Lord, how I want that engagement to be for the year, and I work on that. My finances, I set certain goals for those. If I want to save or pay my credit or my debt down, or get rid of a credit card or pay off a bill, or whatever, kind of regulating my finances. Faith finances, my business, where I want that to go, what's the goal, what's the outcome on that, how much money do I want to make from that a year, how many connections, how many contracts do I want to sign for that year. I do that. Dating and relationships, I do set time for that. I've been more aggressive about that lately, and I'm actually really enjoying that. And it's really funny because you wouldn't know because this is only episode 4. I was engaged 10 years ago to a guy that I had met when I was going to community college getting my associates, and were together for a couple of years and then scheduled to be married after graduation, but he passed away that November, the Thanksgiving before. So he passed away in November, and I was to graduate like that May, which was going to be like our wedding month or whatever, and he passed before then, and that was like 10 years ago, 9 years ago. It was 2017, 9 years ago. It was a long time. 9, 10, anywho, I ain't did nothing. 9, 10 years, you do the math. You're right. However, I have been more aggressive this year at dating or allowing myself to be found to be dated. Like, seriously, there were a lot of things that I learned. Maybe we'll talk about that in a future episode. Put a pin in that. There was a lot of things that I learned. Wrote a book about it. Stay tuned. I did write a book. About that as it relates to me, what I want, what I desire, and what I need as me. As it relates to a mate, a relationship. So now I am really excited. I am really enjoying the attention. I'm enjoying conversations, like all the things, right? So it's a whole lot of fun. But dating is one of my pillars, and of course my health, because I'm damn near 60. Not quite. I'll be 56 in April. Don't do that. But I'm closer to 60 than I am 40. That's all you need to know. Mind your business. So my health is important as it relates to cholesterol, congestive heart failure runs in my family. My mother was a diabetic, like all the things. And I'm not a healthy person for the most part. I've been more healthier these days because of my age, but I didn't grow up in a healthy family. So I was on a farm in Ohio. We ate fresh meat off of the farm. So there you go. But health has been more prevalent for me these past couple of days, which has contributed to me being more concerned or more mindful about my weight loss, because I know that has a lot to do with it. But health is another like pillar that I have that's kind of been consistent for the past 5 years. So I usually just make a list of those areas and focus on those areas, and then kind of list what my goals are for those areas for the year. So that's one of the things that I do. So in taking inventory, make sure you have like some goals and some targets that you want to hit. And then from that, be intentional about focusing on the positive. I'm going to say it again. Be intentional about focusing on the positive, because we got the negative down pat. We know what we don't want. We know what wrong is. We know what not perfect is in our own eyes when it comes to us, right? We are more judgmental to ourselves than the people looking at us are. They don't see those flaws. I was talking today to somebody in my place of employment, because I don't work a job. We're going to talk about that too. I partner with this organization, right? And they pay me every 2 weeks. And they were like preparing because they have to present at this conference. And they're preparing and preparing. And I'm like, don't nobody know if you make a mistake, just keep going. Because you are an expert at what you're talking about, right? That's the confidence. That's the certainty. I'm an expert at me. Don't nobody, I done sat with me. I done been through hell with me. I done cried with me. I'm an expert of me. And if me being an expert of me, criticize and judge what I'm an expert of, that's crazy. That's crazy. But other people can say things and we'll take it and try to correct it versus to meet whatever they expect. I'm an expert of me. So if I'm an expert of me and I spent all of this time in training and I got a degree and got a t-shirt about it, then why won't I present the best of what I'm an expert at? Why don't I present and walk around like, no, I got this, right? I own this. I'm me. I am the best version of me. After all that hell I've been through, I'm the best version of me that I can be today. I am not going to judge. I'm not going to down it. I'm not going to talk bad about it. Now, is there room for improvement? Always room for improvement. But improvement not to be corrected, but to be the better version of the best version of me. Hope that makes sense. It sounds right in my head and my heart, so it's just going to come out my mouth. Okay, this is how we roll over here on What the Hell Is Next. And yeah. Yeah. This is what we're doing. I want to make sure I got all of my notes. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to write for 72 hours the areas of our lives that's steady, positive, not negative. I got a whole list of negative, steady stuff. We'll talk about that later. What are you trying to upgrade prematurely? What are you trying to fix? What areas of your life are you trying to fix before they need fixing, or before they even show itself as an error? Right? Who said that it was wrong? Who said that it wasn't correct? Nobody know. Nobody knows it's a mistake unless you tell them. Nobody knows that it's not right unless you tell them. I remember one time, funny joke, I'm talking about me. I remember one time I went to work and I didn't comb my hair. Now that I didn't comb my hair on purpose, I don't know what I was doing that morning. Ain't no telling, child, because I do a whole bunch of stuff in the morning. That's why I get up 2-3 hours early. But I didn't comb my hair. I walked around the whole day with my hair uncombed. I don't know if I didn't take a plait down, something. It wasn't combed. I went to the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and my hair was not combed. And I came out and asked my co-workers, why y'all ain't tell me I ain't combed my hair? You know what they told me? I thought that's how you styled it. They weren't trying to be funny, but because I walked around like this is me today, they probably was like, oh, okay. They didn't think about the fact that my hair wasn't combed. Only I knew my hair wasn't combed. Only I knew my hair wasn't combed. So think about things that we're trying to fix before it needs fixing. I don't know why that hair story came in here, because I don't even go with this point. But you know what I'm trying to say. Comb your hair in the morning. Fix your hair. That's probably not right. Anywho, so if you want to know what the hell is next, these podcast episodes is going to wear me thin. But we going to get it. Sometimes your next isn't new. Hold on, let me do it right. Can y'all see me? It's just strengthening what's already solid. But you won't know that if you don't do an inventory and you figure it out internally.